Part two, my apologies. I had kicked off because I'd run out of storage, and I went back and I realized that I hadn't deleted a whole bunch of Audible chapters that I had recorded for the revival. I'm sorry. That gives me a chance, though, to let you know if you're not with us on the, let me reach back here. If you're not with us on Patreon, one of the reasons to be over there is because on the Stone Mountain level, you get to hear me read, if you'd like to. You get to hear me read the audibles of my books, and we're now in the revival, my second book. The first was the reversion, then the revival, then the renewal, an appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, and hostages to fortune. We're up to about chapter 11 in this now. So anyway, that's why it kicked off, and now we'll continue. And I'm not sure where I left off, but anyway, there is this has been repeated. This idea that you should never let anybody know that you're a prepper. Okay, in my opinion, that is totally wrong. Okay, if you so here we have the people who say, well, I don't let anybody know that I'm a prepper, but I can't find any preppers. There's nobody around me that thinks like I do. Well, how are you going to find out? Okay. If you really believe in what you're doing, it would seem to me, because this is the way I feel, that you would want to share this with other people. I mean, that's why I have a channel, but I also do it in my life. And that's how I have such a large circle of friends and acquaintances who are also involved in preparedness. I have a huge circle around me that is deeply involved in preparedness. Now, how did I do this? Did I create all of these? No, I didn't. Now, some became either initially interested or more interested as a result of reading my books or listening to this channel or just talking with me. But most of them were already on the path. Okay, they were already on the path, and I simply discovered them by expressing my concerns and my interest in preparedness. That gave them the entry to say, well, I feel the same way. Okay, so that's one of the most important things, and the paranoia, the prepper paranoia that comes into this, don't let anybody know, OPSEC and all this kind of stuff, is going to be very detrimental. It's already detrimental to the people who practice it too much, okay, because you're not getting those allies. And then, of course, there's the people who say, well, I don't like people. Well, I don't like some people, you know. And I'll be honest, I hope this is helpful to you. There was a time in my life that I didn't like people. Just flat didn't like them. You know why? Because I was spending my time completely around. I was in law enforcement. I worked a horrible, I was just around dirtbags all the time. Well, I don't like people, okay, because of the people that I was around. When I came out into the normal world, guess what? There's a lot of good folks out here. A lot of good folks. You can't trust people. Well, some you can't, and some you can. So if you're caught up in that paranoia, you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. And when the time comes that you need people, they're not going to be there because you didn't find them. And you didn't let them find you. And you didn't let them in, okay? And you didn't go out and get them. And, if you think that you and your best buddy or you and your immediate family are enough to stave off whatever may happen in the world, it's not. It's simply not. If you really want to learn about building community, again, read my books. I cover it all in the first book, The Reversion. It's a story. The whole Stone Mountain series is a story about a family who was prepared, and as a result of their preparedness, were able to not just sustain themselves, but continue after a complete collapse of the world to live a good life. And as a result of their preparedness, they were able to help other people who they ran across or who came to them, started building a community, having standards. Okay, there were rules there. Okay, but as a result, started building community and then started rebuilding society. It's a great series. I get into such complexities of preparedness and survival and community and government and different aspects of that. Read it, you'll like it. And I probably didn't say before, the links are down below. You can get them on Amazon, which gets them to you quick, or you can get them from me through my website, stonemount.us, where you get them slower, to be honest, because sometimes I run out and I have to reorder more. I just got the new load in, but I get to sign them for you, and I like doing it. So preparedness is growing, and it's growing all around, and it's growing among people that most preppers who identify as preppers would be very surprised at. As the world becomes more threatening, as it becomes more tenuous, and especially, as they mentioned in the article, as we approach another presidential election, in which both sides are worried about what's going to happen to the world if the other side wins. The concern on the part of people for their continuing welfare increases. People aren't that stupid. Well, a lot of people are. A lot of people are stupid, and we know that, right? But a lot of people are pretty bright, and they plan. A lot of fun is made of in the prepper community of people who live in the suburbs and have big houses and nice cars and go out to eat and everything like that. Do you know why those people live like that? Because they have prepared. That's right. See, that's another aspect of preparedness. They may not be preparing to live in the woods, okay, but they have prepared through planning to live a good life. It's simply a different aspect of preparedness, but it shows the mindset of the person that says, I want to live a good life. Here's what I have to do. And I want to live a good life regardless of what happens to the financial system and this and that and this and that. Here's what I have to do. And then they did it. So this world is full of preppers. If you don't know very many of them, they're out there just waiting for you to meet them. And maybe to help them. And maybe to be helped by them. Okay, again, I'll put this up. I'll put the link because I didn't see it when I went back to Drudge. Whether they take, they take stuff off, they put stuff on, take stuff off to make room for other stuff they want to put on. But I'll put the link on the Patreon side. Think about it. Realize it's out there. Preparedness is growing. If you've been involved for a while, you're in the forefront. You're tip of the spear, and it's very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So if you're with us on Patreon, read the article. Let us know what you think. Even if you're not, let me know, kind of what you think. Do you know many people who are kind of coming out and preparing because they're starting to worry about what's going on in the world? It's good, and it's good to know them, and it's good to know who they are. And, you can't hide in a hole and just hope that nobody knows, because you know what? Everybody knows. You all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.